Appreciate that.
So next up, we have one from somebody you know very well. It's Gary Klein, your father.
Oh, my own dad. Coming here to burn me one. All right, Gary, let's see what you got.
Some of you may find this hard to believe, but Ethan was not always the fashion influencer that you know him as now. His affairs with clothes started off pretty tough because as a kid, all he loved to do was throw his clothes on the floor. Throw his clothes on the floor was a constant harmony in the house. Mom saying, Ethan, pick up your clothes. Ethan saying, okay, okay. Well, he learned an important lesson from that, which is if you don't pick up your clothes, eventually mom's going to pick them up. Went to Israel, met Hila. They fell in love. He brought her back to Santa Cruz. They started living together. And it was a time for a visit again to go see Ethan and Hila living together up in Santa Cruz. So Donna and I drove up, found where they were living, knocked on the door. Hello, come in. We walked in, and you literally could not see any floor. There were so many clothes strewn all over the place that it was nothing but clothes. Like, we didn't even know where to step. Even on tiptoes, you couldn't help but stepping on something. So we both said, wow, Ethan has found the perfect girl. If she is willing to put up with this kind of stuff, he's good. Ethan did bring his particular fashion sense with him to Israel. Back then, it consisted mostly of mid-calf athletic socks and flip-flops. He even championed it summer, winter, wherever he went, including the first time he met Hila's folks. And her father was so taken aback by this very odd choice of clothing that he almost kicked Ethan right out of the house.
That's true.
It did work out okay, and now years later, look where they are. Also just wanted to say, Ethan, super proud of you. Man, you've accomplished so much. You've had so many obstacles thrown against you. You've got a great wife, great kids, great family. Happy birthday. Love you. And keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're just killing it. Bye.
That was great. My dad came with all the anecdotes. You know, that's true, man. When you came in Santa, I don't know, I was such a degenerate.
I was shocked when I saw it.
Oh.
And Ethan afterwards told me that he supposedly prepared for me coming. So he moved the clothes. It wasn't on the floor, but it was in the closet, but the closet was just everything on the floor.
That's I'm such a piece of shit.
Just everything on the floor.
I remember doing that. I am literally such a loser. So when I was in Santa Cruz, I would wash my clothes and then I wouldn't fold it. I would just throw it in a pile on the floor. And then when I had a pile of dirty clothes, and I used to literally, I would just pick some clothes off a pile on the floor.
I don't know why. I just in a way, it was kind of just liberating for me because my mom has always been so OCD about everything. She's got to clean everything, and
that's why it worked.
Laundry had to be super straight, folded. If it wasn't perfectly straight, she would make me refold it. Everything had to be perfect in the closet. Organized by width, the shirt, the most wide has to be at the bottom and then going up.
Wow, geez.
Yeah.
That's really extreme.
So I was like, holy shit, his clothes are just on the floor.
So you almost thought that was cool about me. That's the only way it works.
He's a bad boy.
That's the only way.
Dirty laundry on the ground. Oh, man.
But I do remember when Hila was coming, I remember this now, and I don't know what I was thinking. This is a moment of insanity, is that I had this pile of clothing and I just put it all in the closet.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done that move before.
I took the time to lose 50 pounds, but I had a pile. I'm such a loser, man. Crazy. Oh, yeah, and then the story about your dad disowning me because I wore socks and sandals.
Yeah.
That was the third time your dad disowned me?
Maybe.
It was a recurring thing, huh?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. We've got one more video, and then the next crew roast, which will be a musical performance from our very own Zach the Sound Lad.
Wow.
But before we get to that, we've got the star of the Families podcast, Miss Donna Klein.
Oh, no, not my mom.
This is supposed to be a roast. So I'm going to say things that are kind of not so nice, Ethan, but I love you. So
Burn.
here it goes. When Ethan was a little boy, his dad used to call him Spike because of his sharp wit, and he was skinny as a toothpick. Well, some things haven't changed, but I'm bummed.
The fatness.
And
Thank you, Mom.
the second thing is, Ethan's always had an eye for fashion, and no matter what the weather was like, whether it was freezing or whatever, he always wore shorts. Well, in the 6th grade, I sent him to Washington, D.C. with a bunch of other 6th grade students, and when he got off the plane, he was wearing a very heavy winter coat that I bought him, and of course, shorts. And the teachers, as he got off the plane, I was told, shook their heads and said, oh, those kids from California. And third is, Ethan loves the camera. In fact, when he was 15 years old, 15 and a half, he'd just gotten his permit to drive, and I was riding shotgun, and as we came to an intersection, the light was turning red. It was that amber color. Anyways, as we drove through the red light, Ethan smiled at the camera. But I'm bum. So I'll end it on a positive story, a story that warms my heart. And that was when Ethan was in the 3rd grade, I believe. His teacher asked to talk to me after class to tell me that there was this new child in the classroom, and the kids were all leaving to go to recess. And, you know, the kid felt kind of lost. She said you could see it. And after the kids all left, Ethan went up to the young man and put his arm around him and said, don't worry, I'll introduce you to all the guys. So I thought that was incredibly compassionate and loving and kind. And that's my Ethan. And he hasn't changed. Love you, sweetheart. Happy birthday.
My mom. The sweetest, right? I think she didn't stick the landing on the red light story. So when I had my learner's permit, we were driving together, and I cruised through a yellow light, and I don't think either of us knew I ran a red light until a month later. We got a bill for like $600. And it was, I guess, I don't remember me smiling at the camera. But the funny thing is that it said my speed was like 15 miles per hour. And I had a picture of both of us in the car. That's the story she's telling. Thanks. I'm just clarifying. Donna Klein, new host of Frenemies.
Do you feel roasted after that? Were you just annihilated by that one?
Yeah, she got me good.
She got you so good.
All right, Zach.